Hello. We're back again for another episode of the Sunday Club. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Hello. Sorry about that. My finger slipped and I did it twice, but who gives a shit? So we're back. Leeds House, Sunday Club. Kevin's now a white rasta. How you doing, pal?
I'm all right, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Got back from the game about an hour ago. Bit of a drive, feeling a bit not not massively happy with the game, but still content with it. What about yourself? How are you feeling?
I feel. I'll be honest. I feel the same. I thought towards the end, I thought, you know, we could win this, and then obviously it wasn't meant to be. But it was just a really weird game of football, weren't it? Today, it's like it's just clear.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, mate. So yeah, welcome guys, and our man's in. Welcome, Einar. So we'll have a chat through the game, talk about it, have a little brief overall of it. Got some talking points as usual. Get involved, get your comments in, get your thoughts in. Me and Kev will obviously talk about your comments. So first and foremost, this happened. Leeds United won. Scumchester won, or Manchester United, as they're also known as. So yeah, like, as we just said, it weren't the most entertaining or enterprising game of football from a Leeds point of view. I think there was a bit of legginess in the performance. I think there's a bit of an occasion that maybe got a bit too much at times. I think there was some missing quantities that showed in this game. But all in all, it's another point gained. It's still unbeaten, and we're edging away from that relegation trio bit by bit. What did you make of that sort of in performance wise? Is Kev?
I mean, I think it's probably the worst we've played out the last 7 matches. To be honest, it was just, I don't know, man. It's really hard to explain it. Like watching the game, it's like not much was coming off, and everybody was losing the ball. I thought Stack was a bit all over the place today. Gruev, I mean, I weren't convinced by it, but I'll take the point. Do you know what I mean? And especially against a team like Manchester United, obviously rivalry. But in my head, I feel like they were there for the taking today. You know, if any the best time to play Man United as a Leeds fan would have been today, and it kind of just felt like a bit weird, the game. You know, obviously we'll talk about talking points, but it's just really hard to explain. Do you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm meant to know what I'm talking about, but I don't. You know.
Just to point up here that we've got a new fan. Glad to see Grady's UB40 tribute band has taken off. Yeah, thank you, Grady. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think you have to a little look at my image a little bit more, mate.
I know, I've seen it. I know.
Okay.
I noticed it. But I agree with what you're saying in terms of like the performance compared to the last sort of run of games that we've had. That yeah, it's weird to say, but it feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity in terms of how how we performed, and it was probably the worst we've played off this run of games. But to say that we weren't great and we didn't play at our best, we have still come away with a point and we are still unbeaten. running through. We'll quickly go over the goals. So there was obviously Brendan Aronson, bit of a hit and hope ball from Strauch, and it's bounced through the players. Let it bounce through. He's run onto it. Great finish. And then within
Amazing finish.
it was a really good finish. He's under pressure, and you think like if you're looking at him back in earlier on in the season, you're probably not confident he's going to score. He's not going to finish that, but he's in a bit of a good run of form himself, and he puts it away. And then it's that old adjective, isn't it? Of you're almost as the most vulnerable when you just score, and it seems like it's another. You can say our goal was a pretty easy goal to give away, but again, theirs is a bit of indecisiveness from the keeper. Like if he stays on his line, he probably don't score. And he comes out, but then he stops, and it's like it's almost made it a little bit easier for Kuna to slide it past him. And it's just it takes it, and then when they scored, you could feel it in the ground. They sort of took the wind out the game a little bit, and it just went very edgy because of obviously the performance, and then we conceding straight away from our goal against Man United. It it didn't feel great.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned that adage about always scoring after, like, what you're at your most vulnerable after you've just scored.
Yeah,
I've got this thing about football, like when managers say, "Oh, keep it tight for the first 20 minutes."
yeah.
I'll find out a new plan. Right, is you should keep it tight for the full 90 minutes
Yeah,
and not let them score.
I agree. I think, yeah, why don't managers do that? Why don't managers be like, tell you what, lads, let's not keep it tight for just a period of the game or the first 20 minutes or just after a goal. Why not try and do that for the whole goddamn game?
Yeah, I know.
I think we've just like cracked football.
Our football is finished now because of us. I think we've just finished the game. No one's going to want to play anymore because of our astute, absolute brain power when it comes to football. We've just finished it. Might as well quit now. When's
Yeah,
football finished? We've just finished it, mate.
we've finished it. We've got the cheat code. We've
Yeah.
got
Up,
so
down, left, right, whole day, press start, mate. That's what it is.
We can
Yeah.
get it to any level by just keeping it tight for the whole game.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we seem to be quite good at that at the moment. Well,
exactly.
tighter than usual, but I still feel like I know we obviously keep going over it and all that, but I think we should have won today.
I mean, we should have in terms of it's like because I mean I think I was very confident. Like when I was looking at the game, especially after like as I say how we've been playing for the past few games, and then I was looking at this game, the Liverpool game. I was a bit more okay. We get what we can from that because we're at Anfield and Liverpool are a good team. But this game, I was looking at it going, I think we could really get a good win here. And even some of their fans, like what I've noticed on social media, like, even their fans were a bit worried about coming to play us and how we've been playing, like very big and we're bullyish, and we can play as well. But I was like, even their fans were a bit worried about this game and how we were going to play, and it just seemed like it was a bit of a anticlimax to the build up of it after how we've been playing. But again, we can't sniff at the fact that we've drawn the game, and we could have won the game still. Even we didn't play our best. We could have, like near the end, we've had a few little breaks and just a little bit of bad decisions. Like Metch has gone through and he's
yeah. I'm gonna have a moan about that in a moment. Why change the system and bring off Okafor? Because that's what pissed me off the most. Was how they changed the system right at the end, but then probably took off the one person that needed the system change in the actual starting 11. That got to me a little bit because I was like, what? And then, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there was lots of little individual bits where I thought like, oh, if that pass would have been a little bit better. Or it's that time where Nonto jumped up to head the ball and just absolutely spanned it towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Okafor thing, because again, we keep talking about Okafor. We keep saying that he's a player that can catch fire, and he just needs something to happen for him really good in a game. I know he scored a couple of goals, but he needs something to really catch fire in a game for him. And we feel like he can maybe like then go to another level. But even today's game, there were like some of his decision making, like there'd be times when he'd run with the ball and you think, do that all the time. Run with
Yeah,
the ball, run past players all the time. And then or driving to the box, even if you get corners, whatever, just do what you're good at doing. But then right at the end, you could see he was a little bit tired. There was this great ball played into him. I think it was either Gruev or Stack, like through the defense, and he's run
that.
onto it.
Yeah,
And he's just like the decision to just try and play this first time cross, and it was a shit cross. It went nowhere. And I was like, just drive into the box. And I'm thinking, you didn't even play against Liverpool, so you shouldn't be a bit leggy here. You should be on it. But yeah, and then Metro comes on, and I weren't too bothered that he changed bring Metro on, because he is a bit of he's a different sort of entity and there's a bit of a goal threat. But yeah, then his decision making again was a little bit off. Tanaka coming on, I thought Tanaka was pretty good. Let's just bring this up actually, because we'll talk about it now while we're talking about a lot of players and subs and stuff. So the team selection, so the team was what? Perry in goal. Bornau kept his place after a pretty decent game against Liverpool. BO has been solid since he's been in there. Strout's been good. Goodmanson, didn't think Goodmanson had the best of his games today, but he still
he was
did the
still a
job.
threat at times. You
Yeah,
know, he's like he's industrious, isn't he?
yeah. And then we
Yeah.
have James Justin, or Justin James, JJ, whatever. Obviously, there was probably a bit of worry that Bogle was missing, and we were like discussing before the game, like, oh, maybe he's being sold, maybe he's going to Everton, because it's a bit weird that he's not in. Found out he's got a bit of a calf strain. And then we've got Aronson, Stack, and Grev in the middle, with like Okafor and Calvert-Lewin up front. Was that a team? Was you okay with that team?
No, not really. I mean, in the middle of the park, I feel like Man United are not as mobile as they've ever been. You know, they've got Casemiro and Ugarte. They're not exactly superstar ball players. You know, and I thought this game should have been a Tanaka game for me instead of Gruev, where we needed someone to put their foot on the ball, someone that can pass it around, and it just ended up a bit of like without Ampadu as well. There's a bit of a war of attrition in the middle of the park, and people just loads of shit passes, loads of bad passes everywhere between their midfield and our midfield. It was just a bit crap to watch.
I think with the Gruev situation, and I think why he was picked, because I thought he had a really good game against Liverpool, and if he's obviously he hasn't played a lot of football this season. Had a really good game against Liverpool. He's fit, and he does like to try and keep a little bit of consistency. If he's got if force changes he'll make them, like being a bit unfit, carrying knocks or whatever. So I'm thinking he's trying to keep as much consistency as he possibly can. And I think Gruev keeping his place was down to the fact that I thought he did play really, really well against Liverpool, and he did okay today, like tackling wise. But we needed something a little bit more in there. We needed somebody to control it, and I've put it as a talking point, but I'll get it up now. So it brings on to this, which is how important this man now seems to be for us, because when he's there, we do tend to seem to have more control. Even in early games in the season where we didn't get the results, we could see that he did control a lot of our play in a lot of our games. And it's not just what he does on the ball, it's his instructions and his telling players where to go and what to do. And today it just felt like there was no sort of general in there to sort of take control of it. And I'm sort of hoping that maybe this would be the game that Stack would take that mantle up a little bit and just be that person. But I agree, it seemed like there was no one in there doing that, and it was a bit of like kick rush football in there at times. And to be fair to them, there were times when they did look very good, when and all of their like good little link up play came through Sesko. I don't know if you noticed
Yeah,
his little touches off the ball and that, and you could see like his good player. Like he looks like a real good player. And I thought Cunha as well held onto the ball quite well today. So they had their little bits of play where we didn't seem to have that in there. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I thought BL did well against Sesko, to be fair, because they're international teammates, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought he played well against him, but you can see that he's a decent player. He's probably obviously he's just new to the league and stuff. But yeah, he looks a really good player. Cunha looks really good.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was
definitely.
just. I would say we played well. You know, like we won our battles and we won some duels and stuff like that, which is always great, especially down near the bottom end of the table, and every point's worth its weight in gold. But there wasn't as much fluidity as there has been in recent games, like the way that we were playing today. The only person I thought that actually was quite fluid was Captain America, mate. You know, he's like up towards the end, he was getting whacked off the ball a little bit more than he was at the start, but he was at least trying things, playing the ball around the corner, all that sort of stuff. It was there. Okafor had moments where he blasted past people, and you feel like no one can stop him when he gets in full flow, and he just makes the wrong decision at the end. I mean, we're moaning about a point against Manchester United when we're near the bottom of the table, and I guess the recent performances can do that, but still, it just wasn't the greatest game in my eyes, anyway.
But I mean, we are moaning because like of a point against Man United, but is that a good thing because of how we've been performing for the past?
Well, anything to stop that
games.
lad getting his haircut, mate. I'd like to be involved in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
yeah.
it just like going back to the importance of our captain. I'm so gutted that he didn't play in that game today because I genuinely believe that was a missed chance today against them. They're not terrible team. They are
They're not.
inconsistent, but I think having somebody in that midfield to just settle it down a little bit, take control of the ball, be able to dictate the play a little bit, give people a bit more instruction because Stack did look a bit lost at times. He looked like he
Yeah, I
didn't know
feel
where
like the getting the ball from the defence into midfield weren't as slick and
yeah.
as process driven as we've had it previously, where Ampad is always there picking up the ball from the centre halves, looking for passes, driving the ball forward a little bit more. We didn't really see that from anybody today, did we? So yeah, I'm in total agreement with you when it comes to here today. I just feel like this game was meant for a player like him, and it's just a shame that you weren't there.
Yeah, but we can't also take away the fact that it was a small turnaround from the Liverpool game, and there was a lot of effort in that Liverpool game. I know we didn't have a lot of the ball at times, but that can almost be harder. Just closing spaces down and
Well,
keeping
it is, yeah.
positions, and so obviously they've had an extra couple of days rest and which obviously helped them. And some of our players, like I agree with you on the Aronson thing. I thought Aronson was really good again today. If anything was going to happen, it looked like it was going to come from him. Because I mentioned Stack, he put that one great ball in for Calvert-Lewin's chance to hit the post.
Yeah.
But then all of his deliveries were pretty shit today. Like they didn't look. I mean, from where I was, I mean, they didn't look very good today. We didn't really cause them any problems from set pieces, which was one of our sort of strengths that we've picked up this season. We've looked quite dangerous in most games, and today it looked like they handled pretty much all of our set pieces, apart from that throw in where Goodmanson had the shot that come back out to him.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah, Aronson though, mate, good. He looked good. He's looking more confident. He's getting the ball, and I agreed. Right near the end, it looked like he was blowing out of his ass, like the amount of work he's been doing for the past few weeks. So I couldn't understand, and there were a couple of times when he'd run into a blind alley because he's trying to do maybe a little bit too much. No one else is really doing what they should be. I thought Calvert-Lewin was very quiet today. Obviously, he's had that chance, got wiped out a little bit early on, but we just looked leggy in attack. We just looked leggy when we had the ball. Like you say, we just didn't look as fluid. Yet we're saying this,
Oh no, yeah, we were beaten in 7 matches. We
Yeah,
picked up a point against a team who spent billions of pounds on players over the years, signed one player for more than our total budget and stuff like that. So, yes, I guess it's not
yeah.
that bad.
No, it's not. It's not as bad as what we're thinking. I thought, and I also thought Tanaka was pretty good when he come on.
Yes,
I thought Tanaka would look really good. So I'm
I just
hoping
don't want
that.
him to end up being a super sub though, because I still think he's one of our most important players. It's just obviously
Yeah,
game specific, and
yeah,
I don't want it to be like that because this obviously this 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it, is it's not really suiting him that much. But every time he's come on, and when we've in every game recently, he's made a difference.
yeah. I think he starts on Wednesday. I think he's got to start Wednesday. We've got Sean Longstaff back as well, which is good. It's another option. He was on the bench today. I didn't think he was going to get on. I didn't think he was going. Well, depending on how fit he is, I'm not too sure. But it's good to have Longstaff back. We'll have Ampadu back through the week, bar any dodgy injuries. Um, just Rodon now, getting Rodon back. I think getting a full team back and maybe adding some players.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit, if that's all right, about a little bit about James Justin because he came in with obviously not a
Yeah,
lot of fanfare. I work with a Leicester fan, and he was glad to get rid of him, but he also mentioned it's probably best if he went off somewhere else. So there's a lot of
yeah,
promise with this lad early on in his career, and I mean for the past I thought he was okay today. Obviously, he's not as good as Bogle going forward, and he nearly got on the end of a cross for Luke Shaw headed away, but
yeah.
defensively and like positionally, he seems all right, doesn't he? Seems quite handy squad player to have him. And
I,
yeah, I mean, he could be a bargain.
I don't. I think he's been sound every time he's played today.
Yeah,
This season, I think is a real good player to have. I think he was captain for Leicester at one point, weren't he?
I'm not sure, but I know he played for England. I know that one.
Yeah.
He's been capped by England. I think it was under Southgate, maybe.
I don't think Bornau would have started today if Bogle was fit. I think it would have been just in there, Bogle on the wing. But obviously, Bogle's picked up a calf strain and he's not going to Everton like I thought he was. And Bornau's coming. You know what? I'm going to mention Bornau as well because um, he's not played all season. He gets thrown on at Anfield for his like for his, for his first start, and then his home debuts against like one of our biggest sort of rivals. So I feel sorry for him a little bit that he's been thrown into the deep end like he has. But I thought he was very good against Liverpool. Against Liverpool, I thought he was okay today. He was winning headers, but then sort of near the end when he got brought off, obviously he was tired as well. He was doing really good things. He was winning the ball, getting the ball, and then he'd just play a really shit pass, or he'd get in front of the player, win the ball, and then just kick the player. And I was just like, mate. But
Just needs a run of games, he does. But obviously, if
yeah,
Rodon's back, he ain't going to get that, which is a shame, really. And it
no.
obviously
So
depends on what formation we play. I'm glad that he's got a bit of minutes and Leeds fans can see what he can do, though, because he's not a bad player by the look of it.
no, he's not. He's not a
He's
bad
definitely
player.
worth more than the money that we paid for him, anyway. But it's just obviously
Yeah.
his injury record is a bit.
And now a lot of people have seen him because obviously that was the main thing. It's like, why are you buying players and you're not playing them? It's like, well, this is the reason why we've bought back up players for when we get injuries or we get suspensions. And he's coming against, two of the better teams of the league, or one of them at least. I won't give Man United any credit. But you know what I mean. And he's done fine. You know what I mean. He's played okay. I thought he was pretty good against Liverpool, and he did all right today. No worries from me. Let's have a look. Who's this? Commentary was as long as Leeds fans don't finish 18th.
Is that Geary, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, mate.
He said to me today, he went, I just hope that we finish 18th. And I was like, what? And he went, yeah, and get relegated. But I don't think he meant to say 18th.
Meant 17th, did he? Yeah. I mean, I'd take 17th now. But I mean, I still think there's a lot of life left in this season as well. There's some big scalps. Obviously, West Ham yesterday, man.
Oh, well, that's it. That's it, isn't it? Really, it's like we're talking about a pretty not the best game today, but as we keep pointing out, we're still very much unbeaten, and like I agree. Look, when we get all our, like I say, when we get our players back, Ampadu's back, Rodens gets fit, we get some new players in. We ain't gonna be playing. I mean, if you think of the run of games we've had,
I still
Man
think Dan
City.
James has got something to do with this season. James. Like I feel like he's forgotten about already.
I don't think that Dan James in the Premier League is just the thing that goes together. Not that he can't or he's not good enough for it. I just think he's got a bit of a jinx against him when it comes to the Premier League, if I'm being honest. But hopefully he proves me wrong and he comes back and he just, gets involved. But even getting him back, getting him back fit, getting some new players in. And like I said, we've gone through this period of where we played Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool twice, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, who are having a good season, or they were at least. And then we've got 2 draws away from home against Sunderland and Brentford, who have been very good at home this season. So
Won
when
again
we're
today, didn't they?
who's Sunderland?
Brentford.
Oh, Brentford, yeah, they did. They're fair. You know what? I sort
I
of
had
put
them to
them
go
down
down.
as
I did. I had them
not
to go down.
necessarily.
Brentford, yeah.
Maybe not necessarily to go down, but I definitely had them as a team that was going to be struggling at the bottom. But I don't really like him. He's a bit of an idiot, but he's doing a good job, and he's
And he's
fucking
got a perm.
and he's got a perm,
Yeah, no one likes
and he's
that.
got a perm, so he's doing well. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like if we look at the run of games we've just had and how we've performed, when it comes to playing against some other teams in our league, I'm not going to mention any, but who are not as good or are not in as good a form. I think, like I've said it on here. Like I don't see us going through a period of struggle again. Now we've sort of found our feet. Now we've sort of found a way of playing or a number of ways of playing. We've got all the players are sort of getting up to speed. There's still a few players that we think is going to click at some point. Okafor, like mentioning him.
Dax
So
hot and cold as well, isn't he? If he gets a bit more consistency to his game, he's a great player.
yeah, and it's like it just like shows like even going from Liverpool to Man United over a couple of games, like the intensity of it, like it can really affect. Yeah, and like if you're not used to playing at this intensity, and it like Slack was probably a victim of that today, and I'm actually surprised that we didn't see Tanaka in there today. Like I agree with you, but hopefully we see him in the next game. But it just boils down to like we can look about it, but yeah, we're still unbeaten. We've got a draw. We look dangerous. Even in today's game, I still thought we were going to get another chance at the end.
We didn't cross a lot though today, did we?
We tried. We just weren't very good at them.
We tried.
Just hitting the first man, and even right at the end when Calvert-Lewin, like it was the very last thing that happened where even he's tried to cross it, and he's just hit the first man, and it's still the game sort of pitted out. I want to mention actually. Did you think Pro was going to score? Because I fucking did.
Yeah, I did too. I thought this written, isn't it? It weren't the worst effort I've ever seen, obviously, but I thought, yeah,
No.
I thought honestly, I thought he was going to score. I really did.
I'd have loved it for him.
I'd have loved
Because
it. No, I think I'd loved it if anyone scored, to be honest. But
yeah, definitely.
but yeah,
But
I would have loved it if he got it. You know what I mean? I'd love to get a Premier League goal.
here's what I want to
I'll
ask.
tell you one thing I did like
Go on.
about the end of that game.
What?
He did go for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely went for it.
Yeah, it was there. The game was there.
Yeah.
It was there to sort of go for. And right at the end, it was very sort of up and down, but we had like these little moments where, again, it was just that last little bit of the wrong pass or a little bit of indecisiveness. And
That Stacks volley at the end as well. Oh, God.
yeah, I know.
I saw his name in lights, mate. I did. Honestly, I nearly booted the roof off.
He did as well. He's seen his name in the lights. Here's what I want to ask you, Kev, because I haven't seen a replay of it. I only seen when Nonto's crossed the ball and
yeah, he's come off his foot up and onto his arm.
Okay, would you say was it a handball, or do you think it was
I don't.
no?
But by the letter of the law, it's not a handball. I mean,
But
if it was
by
given against us, I'd feel very,
yeah,
very treated. Fallow, we've been treated harshly.
yeah. So what you're saying is it was a definite penalty,
Yes,
and
and if unless it was
we've been
against us,
screwed
yeah,
over. We've
yeah,
been screwed over yet
yeah,
again
by the
by
referees.
the dodgy refs and their dodgy decision making, and they're all cheating shits. They're all cheating shits. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's not much more to say about that game in particular. It was a not the best performance. It was a dogged performance. It was a bit of, like I say, kick rush football at times. Not a lot of quality in there. Not a lot of control. Don't think Manchester United were as bad as they've been made out to be this season. I thought they were okay. We're still there to be had at the back. We just didn't see it. Didn't seem to show it today. A bit of, like I say, a bit of legginess in the team. It brings us on to uh, this game in the week.
yeah.
How
How
how are
are the
you
lads?
feeling? How are you feeling about that?
I'm not as confident as I was this morning.
You're not,
Nah.
because I'm like I say, Ampad will be back, which will be good. Hopefully, there'll be a couple of changes in personnel to give some fit people a little bit of a runabout. They're a bit inconsistent as well, and they're not having the best of seasons. Like if we'd have won today, and they'd have lost, but they didn't. They won. We could have went above them if we'd have, if we beat them. So they're not too far away from us. And if you consider the fact that they could be the best team in the galaxy because they've got enough money to spend £1 billion on any player they want, but they're just not allowed to. I think he's under better pressure. I do. Oh,
Yeah,
Eddie
so
Howe.
do I. But I mean, they're a good side, mate. They are a
Yeah,
good
they
side.
are. They are a good side, but they are underperforming. I mean, there's a
And
bit of
my thing is their central midfield is exceptionally strong, right? I think that's probably the strongest area of their team is their central midfield. And our central midfield today, kind of like, again, it was like how we got beaten. You know, when we got win the championship and everyone used to just playing behind us.
yeah.
Like that's what I felt like we were today. And if I feel like if we play like that today, as we did today against Newcastle, I think they'd overrun us.
Possibly, but again, we didn't have Ampadu. Ampadu's like probably the best player in the world.
Yeah,
Do you know
he's
what I mean?
pretty good, isn't he?
So getting him back, obviously, Longstaff's fit against Newcastle. He can do a lot of slide tackles like he did last time.
Yeah, he was all over the shop, wasn't he?
Get Tanaka in. Would you? I mean, if he's fit, you've got to sort of keep Aronson in the team, haven't you? Because he's been probably the most by the sort of Biol and Strike has been pretty much the most consistent over the past few games that we've had, and he's got his goal today, good goal today. What do you think your team's going to be? What's your team for Newcastle? Have bear in mind we ain't got Rodon. Rodon's not going to be fit.
I'd probably keep Bornau in. To be fair, this could be a good game for him. I also think it might be a good game for James Justin over Bogle because Justin's more defensive than Bogle. Anthony Gordon's a nightmare to play against.
He's
Goodmanson,
deceivingly fast, isn't he?
yeah,
Gordon.
yeah. I feel like James Justin could be a good matchup for that. But I actually think this game. I know he's played well, but this game would be a stack Tanaka Ampadu midfield, and then Okafor and Cavaloon up front. I know Aronson scored today, and he's going to keep. I just feel like this game is made for stack Ampadu and Tanaka.
Possibly.
That's what I think anyway. I mean, I'm not a football manager. I'm just from what I know and how we need someone that's going to put the foot on the ball, but then we've got people that can win the ball. Might even be a game to take Stack out, to be honest, and have a like Aronson. No, because then we'd be a bit low. Maybe put Longstaff in, give Stack a rest. Longstaff, Ampadu, Tanaka. I still think it's definitely a Tanaka game.
Yeah, I think because as I said earlier about sort of Farker, and he doesn't like to switch it up too much if he doesn't have to. And if the ball now is fit, I think you keep the three defenders as they are because of it's like consistency, isn't it?
Yeah,
Playing together. James Justin over Bogle. I'll take either or either. I don't think James Justin's done anything wrong to come out the team or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if he puts in Bogle just on the basis of James Justin playing 2 games in shorter space of time, saving his legs a bit. In the midfield, I'd probably Amadou's going straight back in.
yeah.
I think you got to play Tanaka, and then it's just one of the two out of Longstaff, if Longstaff's even fit enough to start.
Aronson
And
stack in
Staff,
it. Yeah,
yeah. And up front, I don't know if he just goes Metcher and Calvert Lewin, to add a little bit because
just just hope the ball sticks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What you going as a prediction?
I'm thinking I'm going to go for another 0-0, mate,
Another 0-0. I think we
or
may
1-1. Yeah,
or 1-1. I think it. I don't think it'll be a similar game to Liverpool because I don't think Newcastle will dominate as much as I say dominate, but have as much as the ball as Liverpool did. But then that's down to us and how we sort of engage with them. I'm hoping we have a bit more than the Liverpool match. I hope we have a bit more of attacking threat. Not that it was bad against Liverpool, but I'm hoping we do a bit more there. Um, so I'm gonna keep it quite of a mellow score as well, and just say like 7-0 or something,
yeah. Sound. I thought that would be it. Something close.
something close. Let me just bring these up because obviously I didn't put them up early on the game. So going back to the game today, here are the stats of the game and the momentum. Here's the momentum first, guys. Leeds United on top, Manchester United on the bottom. As you see, it's pretty even momentum wise. Bit of dips and highs from both teams. Goals right, sort of right parallel as we've talked about, conceding straight after. The stats of the game as are follows: 92 xG for their 1.46. Oh, pointing out though, I did touching on the keeper. I'll get to after. Shots 10 to 15, 3 on target for us, 2 on them. 25 touches in their box, 22 for them in our box. And this table is based on all of the games played. And I did this when Man City were beating Chelsea. So I don't know if that's still the case or if they've won that game yet. I'm not sure if it's even finished. So that's after 20 games. As you can see, we're still in 16th, but just slightly edging away from that bottom three. There's 8 points in it now, which is, fantastic. 4 points away from even Forest, which that's a two game swing. Point behind Bournemouth, a chance to go above them today with a victory, but the next one up there is Crystal Palace, so we don't want that gap to widen. Are you happy with that table as of this game, Kevin?
Yes, very much so.
Yes, me too. It's not bad. I mean, it could be better, as we both have said before. Just going back to this now, I just want to touch on this as well because I didn't get it up. So, as we touched on, it was a poor goal to concede, and I think if Perry stays on his line, I don't think they score
Yeah, me neither. I'm
because
I'm still
go
not
on.
sold on this guy, man.
You say that, but then he did make. I didn't know how good a save it was
It was a
until I
great
watched the
save, yeah.
highlight with that header when it's headed in, and then that I think it's Joro or Heaven. I don't know which one it is. He
Yoro.
sort of flicked that header. Fucking good point blank save, really good save. But yeah, the goal, man, and he's like he sort of come out to get it, realised he weren't gonna get it, but then he's in that position where he's sort of caught in no man's land, and it was made. If he stays on his line, there was no power on it. he doesn't get beaten. The players being pushed away from goal, Cunha, and then they don't score. So it's again for me, it's another poor goal we've conceded when it could have been massively avoided. Just a little bit of indecisiveness for me from Big Perry. I know you're not sold on him, but I'm not sold on him, or I am sold on him. I'm just a little bit. Kicking's okay at times, and then he'll do one really dodgy one, and tried a few big throws today, which we all love to see a big throw, but I don't think it was sticking today up there. Well, it's really sticking a lot.
No.
But it is what it is. As I say, we've still not lost, which is good. We've just drawn loads of games.
Yes, still 7-5 draws, 2 wins.
2 big wins as well. 2
Yeah,
really good wins. And I just think there's going to be more wins down the line when we come up against different teams. If we just put this sort of
we've got a lot of big games against the teams below us at home, haven't we? That's the big thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Einar says Perry's not to blame for the goal, in my opinion. Caught sleeping after our goal.
I agree with that as well. Yeah, it's a mixture of both, mate. Yeah, it's a mixture of both, really. I'm not blaming him for the goal. I'm just saying I'm just not sold on him. Like that one where he kicked it out for a goal kick, throw in. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. It's not so much like it's all down to Perry why we've conceded. We've been a bit lackluster in their build up, and we've allowed fucking Sideshow Bob to just have the freedom to play that ball in. But what I'm saying is, if he stays on his line, Cunha's being pushed out, and that ball doesn't slide past him. He just walks over and picks it up. So not so much I'm saying it's Perry's fault that they've scored. I'm just saying if he'd have, just hung on a little bit and just trusted his defenders to do, to push him out, they don't score. But yeah, it's a little bit switching off after we've just scored a great goal from Aronson, and it's a good finish. I know we said it earlier, but Aronson latching onto that good through ball. I think Strike will get an assist for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think, have you got anything else to say, Kevin, about Scum and the lucky point?
Nah, nothing at all, mate. I think I've said my piece today.
Yeah, probably a fair result in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, and these points all add up. That's all we've got to look at it as well.
And we've said numerous times this episode, it wasn't the best performance. It was a bit slaggy, bit leggy, bit kick rush. No one taking real control of the game, and we have still got a point out of it, and we're still unbeaten. So, yeah, I think there's not much more to say on the matter. Thank you, Einar, for always tuning in. Thanks for Grady and his, UB40 tribute band starting up. Can't wait to see that. Thanks, Geary, for popping on and going to the game. Like, subscribe, comment. Once it goes out onto YouTube, get some questions in, and we'll bring them up on the next episode. Do whatever. But I think if Kevin's got nothing else to say, I think we can end this show here. Do you want to say bye, Kevin, to all of the people?
All of the people. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You've been lovely as always.
You've been lovely. He's been a White Rastafarian Grady tribute band. Yes. I've been James, and I will see you through the week. I don't know if Kev will be joining me on that. He usually doesn't come in through the midweek.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. So, yeah, I'll do another match reaction after the Newcastle game. So I will see you then. Take care.